DC has just blown our expectations out of the water with a bat cannon. Marvel has the capacity to pump out superhero movie after superhero movie, but the DC universe has consistently delivered iconic movies, with the latest one being no different, leaving fans going wild over questions like, has Batman evolved? Will they truly explore the detective side of Batman? And does Robert Pattinson still twinkle underneath the batsuit? In addition, DC has begun to change their universe with Black Adam. Brutal Black Adam changes the hierarchy. The Justice League is back in the arena. Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Cyclone, Atom Smasher have their costumes on display, and they look absolutely on point. Black Adam being the first teaser showcase at DC Fandom 2021 was no accident. Black Adam is the arch nemesis of Captain Marvel, so we believe this is DC throwing their hat into the ring, challenging the Marvel franchise, and it's a strong entrance. We see the brutality of a soldier getting reduced to a rubble of bones, something that only a beast such as Dwayne Johnson can pull off. The hierarchy has changed. Aquaman 2 in the city of Atlantis, Lost Kingdom. Did someone say socio-environmental politics? No? Well, what about the reason to preserve life being to watch Jason Momoa kick its ass? Yes? Great. They also show a peek at the return of Ocean Master running behind his brother Aquaman. Are they reuniting and working together, or was Aquaman being chased? The aesthetic for this movie is exceptional, with Black Manta being realized from paper to film, and the directing team announcing a more mature Aquaman, a side the audience has never seen before, yet keeping the charming comedic side. We are excited to see what this great cast can produce. Peacemaker. What's one skill that matches no other? Being really good with guns. Who is good with guns? Bloodsport, Rambo, Bruce Willis, and anyone with a chain gun. It feels like there's a joke in the Peacemaker script room that is centered around the fact that John Cena plays the Peacemaker and no one else is involved in it, even John Cena. Peacemaker is hypocrisy at its finest, and the loving devotion to everything American makes us wonder which stereotype is worse, the armchair generals or the gun-toting nutheads who believe every issue can be solved with bullets. If Suicide Squad 2 is a prelude to Peacemaker, then the humor of, you just murdered my friends, my family, and my loved ones, but all is forgiven because you guys are pretty witty, is completely wasted on its audience. The joke's gone on long enough now, John. Devoted the resources to Margot Robbie and went back to wrestling. DC Super Wholesome Pets. Every once in a while, there's a trailer for a concept that I didn't know I needed to see until it was presented to me. DC League of Super Pets shows us Superman's dog and his adventure with Kevin Hart. This has so much potential to be an incredibly hilarious film for any age. Kevin Hart's humor is reliable and edgy, just the way we love it. We were confused when they briefly showed other voice actors and actresses. John Krasinski from The Office and A Quiet Place, Natasha Lyonne's skills for feel-good comedies are unparalleled, and the world's most wholesome individual alive, Keanu Reeves, in a dog environment. Suddenly, I feel warm and cuddly inside, but that'll be gone in a flash. The Blue Beetle. Representation of cultures that have been integrated into American society is always welcome. Blue Beetle will make history as DC's first ever Latin American superhero movie. The teenager, played by Xolo Marijuana, finds a scarab from space that attaches to him and gives him an aesthetically amazing costume and weapons to boot. But what's interesting is that the Latino culture is captured at its core, leading the way for future Latin American representation on screen. Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League. Alright, it's time for some honesty. The Suicide Squad don't have the best superpowers, but they do have a selection of skills that make for an entertaining mission series. In this mission, the goal is to interfere with the A-class of the Justice League. That's right, an almost immortal team is the target for some quirky, witty characters in the US government. This movie could change history if they follow through with the detainment or death of characters. Whichever pathway it goes, we are happy. The Penguin gets an electrifying humiliation. The Flash, Batman's universe. The Flash is a very versatile superhero. Time, speed, and universes are all at his disposal. The crucial thing about that time and universe concept is that he's literally changed the storyline of the superheroes that we know and love. The trailer highlights that Batman's storyline will be the one that the Flash will interfere with this time. We know it's going to get trippy as we have Michael Keaton, the Batman, and Ben Affleck, the Batman, who will remain the canon Batman that will grace our screens in the future. How will these storylines intertwine but differ? We recommend watching the Flash series before watching this movie to ensure you don't miss out on those crucial, impactful moments. Finally, the most anticipated movie since 2020, the second trailer of The Batman. In the real world, the Batman has been fighting COVID-19 after suffering setback after setback, but we finally have a release date for spring 2022. What's new with Batman? DC fans are excited with this latest evolution of Batman, and when we say evolution, we're talking about a character arc that hasn't been seen on the big screen to this day. But before we get into that, let's look at the cast playing them. Robert Pattinson is the Batman. Robert Pattinson has long since moved removed from his role on the Twilight series and stepped into a role that requires a darker side. Although he has starred in many romantic comedies, he was pushed to the darker side of acting when he starred in The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe, the kind of dark that the Batman series does oh so well. He's announced that he is determined to make the role his own, becoming a more twisted and manic Batman. Let's hope Robert Pattinson's rendition of Batman matches that of Heath Ledger's Joker and doesn't fall into the Jared Leto Joker level. Unfortunately, even after a social media campaign, Kristen Stewart is not going to play the Joker. Some fans see Robert Pattinson as a controversial choice for the role of the Batman. However, this Batman exists outside of the DC Extended Universe, which means that Ben Affleck can retain his role as the canon Batman. But more interestingly, it also means that the writers can be more free in what part of the comics they want to explore. Robert Pattinson said in an interview, "I really like Matt Reeves and his setup for the Batman. It's something from the comics that hasn't really been explored yet, but it's interesting the different directions you can take with it." Who is Catwoman? Where there's bats, there's cats, as the saying goes. Matt Reeves has cast Zoe Kravitz, an actress with 14 years under her belt, and has truly made her mark in the Hollywood roles. Her previous work has seen her be a stripper returning to be a superhero, a reproductive slave seeking her revenge in captivity while also voicing Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie. Her style is being a strong, expressive, and slightly sexualized woman who isn't afraid to take back control, you know, if she ever lost it. The perfect fit for Catwoman. The Riddler is finally intellectually challenged. The excitement around the Riddler is found in Batman. We've only seen Batman punch and drive his way to victory, but Edward Nygma has always been considered the intellectual equal to Batman. We see the Riddler get arrested, which is reminiscent of other great stories such as the Death Note, where the perpetrator got arrested on purpose, knowing that the safest place is when the enemy believes you to be captured. Jim Carrey played a more erratic Riddler, whereas Paul Dano seems to traverse down the insanity route. We see glimpses of Arkham Asylum, which, if we know our gaming and comics, presents us with the idea that Batman is just as crazy as the rest of the criminals, and the idea that he belongs in the asylum locked up with the criminals. We truly get to see the Batman go insane, or the police force realizing that giving a vigilante that kind of freedom may be downright insane in itself. An evolved Batman. Batman is known for his aversion to killing after what happened to his parents, but in this trailer, he seems different. The toughest thug in the group challenges Batman after being quickly subdued. That's normally the end of it. Not this time. Batman continues with and makes us wince with each skull-crushing punch. We believe if the thug was shown after the beating, then the movie would not be getting a PG-13 rating. Couple this with the seconds later footage of Batman driving his car to the limit while screaming screams that would make the Joker proud, followed by reappearance in flames, insinuates that the old Batman has been left in the ashes and the Batman has risen like a phoenix. That's all we found out about the latest DC teaser trailers and releases. Which movies are you most excited for? Did we capture all the lore behind these releases? Let us know in the comments. One thing's for sure, DC has thrown its superhero hat into the arena, and the calamity is going to be fantastic.